What is up, everybody? Welcome back, or welcome to Optimal Self Live. Those of you guys that's welcome back, thanks for being here. As always, thanks for joining me. Thanks for taking the time out. Thanks for playing along. And again, as I say each and every time, those of you guys that have heard this, man, I can't thank you enough for the comments, the text messages, the direct messages, especially revolving around the things that are helping you, the things that are actually taking you from one point of your life to the next. Each and every time we make that jump into that next level of us, into that best version of you. And when you find those moments and you share them, I just got to say thank you, because it truly lights my soul on fire, and it means the world to me. So we talk all the time about being the best version of ourselves, right? That's really what this is. It's not about being somebody else or somebody else's version of us. It's about being your optimal self. And what does that look like? And so we've been talking, especially these last few weeks, about little things that we can do with setting intentionalities and creating streaks and using the principles to get better and better and better. And there's a concept that came up today when I was working, and I wanted to bring it to you because it has so much to do with us individually and our identity and how we act and how we respond and the things that we do. And if you think about your identity, most of us are tied to something. And it could be you as a kid. It could be something your parents said. It could be something maybe a coach or a teacher said, or even just friends as you're growing up, right? Because then our environment matters, and it shapes us, and it does things to us, and it fills our minds. And sometimes we have these thoughts later in life that we don't really even know where they came from. But they've been put inside of us, these seeds, and now they're festering, and now they're growing, and now they're truly becoming who we are, but we didn't make that choice. But now we are so tied to that identity. And it brought up this concept that I wanted to bring it to you guys today. I wanted to talk about it a little bit. And it's flexible versus brittle. And when it comes to us as individuals, when it comes to us as humans, right? And so let's touch it a little bit. So literally the concept of brittle is having a texture that readily breaks into little pieces under pressure. So think about us as humans. Think about if you are brittle all the time, if you're just so stuck in your ways or in the past, especially, and you can't see the future. You can't get into your future self to be better. Because listen, you are not confined by your past. You are not your past. You are not yesterday. You have the point to break through and push. But if you're brittle, then you are going to break into little pieces under pressure that you're going to get caught, right? And so again, let me take you back. We talked about flexible versus brittle. But now if my identity is flexible, meaning you are capable of being readily changed, because the one thing that is constant is change. Look at your life today. You are not the same person you were a year ago. You're not the same person you were 5 years ago. But let me ask you, is that by design? Did you design that life? Did you design where you are and what you're doing? And if you did, fantastic. That's awesome. I love it. But if you didn't, do not let another year go by without it, without you being the architect, without you being the creator of your life. And there's a really cool passage that I wanted to read from you, and it says, "Men are born soft and supple. Dead, they are stiff and hard. Plants are born tender and pliant. Dead, they are brittle and dry. Thus, whoever is stiff and inflexible is a disciple of death. Whoever is soft and yielding is a disciple of life." The hard and stiff will be broken. The soft and supple will prevail. Is your identity who you are? Is it supple? Is it able to change as things change, as pandemics and stay-at-home orders and all these things that are happening are thrown at us? Are you able to adapt? Are you able to overcome? Are you able to thrive? Because if not, it's because you're brittle. It's because I'm so stuck to this identity, right? And the more you let a single belief define you, the less capable you are at adapting when life challenges you. You have the opportunity to change. You have the opportunity, but we cannot be brittle. And I'll say it to you like this. I had a friend, and I remember their son was around fifth grade, so ready about 11 years old, maybe, right? And got called into the principal's office, had a little spat in class, and got called into the principal's office, and the mother had to go down. She had to go down and meet with the principal. And the principal, she met with the principal first before the son came in, and he says, "Hey, I wanted to let you know what happened." And he explained the situation. And when he brought him into the office and he told him what happened, and the kid, 11 years old, they asked him why he couldn't play with the other kids. He couldn't do what they were doing, right? It was a group project. And the young man looked at the principal and he said, "It's because I'm stubborn, just like my dad." Think about that for a second. This young boy is now living out this narrative that again, the mom comes in and they say that and they go, "Oh my God." She says, "My mom has said that to him all the time. Her mother has said, 'You're stubborn just like your dad.'" And now here's this 11-year-old boy in class living out this narrative that somebody had said about him. He is now becoming inflexible. He is becoming brittle at 11 years old and unable to adapt to the situations because I have to live up to the fact that I'm stubborn, just like my dad. Saying it in a proud way. You see, we have to do a better job. We have to do a better job at the words that we use and how we talk, and stop trying to put undue pressures and undue identities on each other, even as adults, even to ourselves. Because again, this happens all the times. It happened to me as an athlete and coming out. And I was like, yeah, my identity was tied to being a baseball player. But what if I change that, right? And James Clear says this in Atomic Habits. I hope you guys read it. It's a wonderful, wonderful book. James, a very, very bright man. And he says, instead of saying, I'm an athlete, let's say I'm the type of person who is mentally tough and loves physical challenges. Because now I'm not just tied to being a baseball player, right? I'm tied to somebody who is actually loves the tough and loves physical challenges, which is very true, right? Those of you guys that know me, it's very, very true, right? Another time, a lot of military, getting out of the military, right? Because they're tied to being a soldier and they're not a soldier anymore. Oh my gosh, who am I? But could you be the type of person who is disciplined, reliable, or great on the team? You see how those are flexible, right? It's not tied to a single word. It's not tied to a single identity. That identity is malleable. That identity is flexible. But we have to do a better job of what we say to others, especially our children, but more importantly, what we say to ourselves. So your task for today, your challenge for today is, who are you? Are you holding on? Ask yourself, what am I? Who am I? Because that's the behavior that you're going to model. So challenge yourself to be flexible in what it is, Challenge yourself to use bigger identity words, right? I'm somebody who builds and creates things. I'm somebody who's tough and loves challenges, right? I can be those things as opposed to being tied to a single name or narrative. Because again, let's go back to the end where he says, the hard and stiff will be broken. If you are brittle, you are going to crack into little pieces under pressure. But if you are flexible and you are soft and supple and you are not tied to the identity and you have a broader scope, you will prevail. You will become the best version of you. You will become your optimal self. Let's go do it. Let's stop being tied. Let's take that challenge, man. I love it. I love it. Let's go. All right. That's what I got for you today. Please like, comment, share. There's somebody in your world right this second that we don't know, that I can't touch, that hasn't seen any part of this yet. But if you share it with them, there's a great opportunity that there might be one of these lives, there might be one of these podcasts that touches them, that can open their eyes, can open their heart, can really, really let them break out of that matrix and get on that journey of being the best version of themselves. It's up to you. Let's touch as many as we can. Our goal is 1 million. You touch 1, touches 2, touches 4, touches 8, touches 16. And here we go. The ripple effect is in effect. All right. Thank you guys. Now get out there and be the best version of you.